Worcester, it's Tracy Novick. First, hope you're getting a chance to enjoy the long weekend. Hope you get a chance to get outside. It's been lovely, and this is the most glorious season of the year here in Worcester. I hope that you might take a chance, if you don't mind, and let me know how remote learning is going. I'd be interested in hearing, certainly from students, from parents, from teachers, from other faculty about what your experiences have been so far. I did want to make sure that people were aware that on this Thursday's agenda is the next stage in our remote learning plan. You might remember from what we passed in August that there's been a bunch of work that's being done on the HVAC systems, and the plan was to get at least some of that done and then start moving students back into buildings. Because it would be happening the end of November, and there's a bunch of planning that would need to take place in order to make that work. This Thursday's agenda has that sort of step-by-step phase-in as part of the discussion. As it stands, the plan would have high-needs special education students, which of course, as I think most of us know, has really been a concern from the beginning in terms of students that we struggle to effectively reach through remote learning, being certainly the first tier of students to come back in. And then there's a number of other students that are included in that first group. And then there would be, those students would be going through December with another round of phase-in happening towards the end of January and into February to get the rest of our student body who opt for hybrid back into buildings by the end of February. Now, all of that obviously is subject to everything. Building work, course of the pandemic, all of the other the things that are variables around education. The other groups that are included in the initial phase-in, as it stands, would be the students that the new Citizens Center students. So those are the students who are fairly recent immigrants who not only are learning English but also have had some major interruption in their schooling. It's our students that we're most concerned about in terms of risk of dropping out. So St. Casimir, Challenge and Reach, and the Creamer Center. And it's also, in this particular plan, included in part of that initial phase-in would be 10th, 11th, and 12th graders who are in vocational programs to try to get them the hands-on experience in the vocational programs that they need. And then most of the rest of students, there would be sort of a two-part phase-in with some earlier time for the students that have been in the earlier education students, and then the students who have been in transitional years, and then with the rest of the students coming back. Do keep in mind that with the exception of some of the earlier students, high needs special education, and some of the other programs, most students, even as we get to the sort of end of the phase-in, hybrid in Worcester, because of concerns around busing and because of our spacing, does still mean only one day a week in buildings. So, that's the other part of this to keep in mind. All of this obviously is something that we're deliberating and discussing. It is on Thursday's agenda for the school committee agenda. That's the public process. And then there's also a session for the general public for their school communities on the following Monday. So that's supposed to be at 5:30. You might keep that on your agenda. That is what the main discussion is for this week. As always, if there are things that I should know, questions you'd like to ask, please let me know. And otherwise, hope to see you, so to speak, on Thursday. Thanks.